Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving straight into one of the most vivid, cinematic, and honestly just beautifully structured pieces of ancient literature out there, Revelation chapter 5. We're going to track the progression of this text, step by step, starting from a moment of intense, solitary despair, all the way up to a literal cosmic crescendo that ends up spanning the entire universe. So let's set the stage and see how this incredible narrative actually unfolds. The text hooks you right from the jump by dropping us into a massive central conflict. Picture this grand scene. A mighty angel stands up and basically shouts a challenge into the void of the universe. He yells, "Who is worthy to break the seals and open the scroll?" It's a cosmic gauntlet being thrown down, demanding that someone, anyone, step forward with the authority to open this mysterious object.
And you have to understand just how completely impossible this problem is. First off, the scroll is held in the right hand of the one sitting on the throne. Second, it is completely packed with text, front and back. Third, it's locked down tight. It's sealed with 7 individual seals, which is basically the ancient equivalent of extreme overkill for keep out. But here's the most devastating part. The text explicitly tells us that absolutely no one in heaven, on earth, or even under the earth could open it. No one could even peek inside. It's the ultimate unopenable lock.
Which brings us to this incredibly human moment right in the middle of this vast cosmic throne room. The narrator, John, reacts to this impossible situation. He says, "I wept and wept because no one was found who was worthy to open the scroll or look inside." And this is brilliant because it illustrates the intense personal despair anchoring the text. This isn't just some distant, objective observation for John. The fact that the scroll can't be opened, it's a profound emotional tragedy to him.
But right at the peak of all that intense weeping, we get a dramatic intervention. One of the elders steps in and tells him, "Do not weep. See, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the Root of David, has triumphed. He is able to open the scroll and its 7 seals." So the elder is announcing this powerful, conquering royal figure who actually has the juice to break the seals. The impossible problem has a solution, and that solution sounds like a mighty, victorious king.
Section 1. The Lion and the Lamb.
Okay, so here is the major turning point of the narrative, where your visual expectations get radically subverted. The crucial thing to catch here is the massive contrast between what John hears and what he actually sees. The expectation set by the elder is the Lion of the tribe of Judah, an image of a triumphant, conquering apex predator, right? But the reality? When John actually turns to look, he doesn't see a lion at all. He sees a lamb. And not just any lamb, but a lamb looking as if it had been slain, standing right there at the center of the throne. It's such a brilliant literary plot twist. He's told to look for a mighty lion, and instead he finds a vulnerable, sacrificed lamb. Now this lamb is incredibly unique looking, and the text actually hands us the key to decode its highly symbolic anatomy. The lamb has 7 horns and 7 eyes. In ancient symbolism, horns typically represent power or authority, and eyes represent vision or knowledge. But we don't even have to guess here. The text explicitly and impartially decodes this for us, stating that those 7 eyes are the 7 spirits of God sent out into all the earth.
After this shocking visual reveal, we get the climactic action of the entire scene, and it happens incredibly quietly. The lamb simply goes up and takes the scrolls from the right hand of him who sat on the throne. That's it. There's no grand battle to win the scroll, no massive display of physical dominance. The vulnerable lamb just steps right up and takes the unopenable object.
Section 2. The New Song. The very second that scroll is taken from the throne, the silence and the weeping of the scene are completely shattered by an overwhelming sensory explosion. Before the singing even starts, the 4 living creatures and the 24 elders just fall down before the Lamb. They've each got a harp, and they're holding golden bowls full of incense. And what's really cool here is how the text translates this symbol directly for us, just like it did with the eyes. It explicitly defines this rich sensory detail, stating clearly that these bowls of incense are the prayers of God's people.
And then they break into song. Let's look at the logical argument of this new song they're singing to the Lamb, because it follows a very specific sequence. First, the Lamb is declared worthy to take the scroll, specifically because he was slain. Second, with his blood, he purchased persons for God. Third, notice the incredible global scope here. These people come from every tribe, language, people, and nation. Finally, these people are made to be a kingdom and priests to serve God, and they're going to reign on the earth. It is a highly structured, comprehensive explanation of exactly why this specific lamb has this totally unique authority.
Section 3. A Cosmic Chorus.
All right, prepare yourselves because we are about to experience a dramatic, cinematic zoom out. The scale of this vision is about to just explode outward. John looks and hears the voice of many angels encircling the throne, and the text describes their numbers as thousands upon thousands and 10,000 times 10,000. Now, if you do the literal math on that phrasing, 10,000 times 10,000 gets us to 100 million angels, which frankly is a logistical nightmare for any throne room. But that massive number is really just a starting point to express an unimaginably vast, overwhelming host that has suddenly crashed the scene. So what is this staggering army of angels actually saying? In a loud voice, they declare, "Worthy is the Lamb, who is slain to receive power and wealth and wisdom and strength and honor and glory and praise." If you count them up, that is a seven-fold declaration of praise. The energy of the text is rapidly building right here, stacking all these attributes one on top of the other as the volume just grows louder and louder.
But the cinematic zoom out isn't finished yet. The chorus expands one final time, moving from millions of angels to literally every created thing in existence. The text says John then hears every creature in heaven and on earth and under the earth and on the sea, and all that is in them. The scope has gone from a single weeping man, to a group of elders, to an army of angels, and finally to the entirety of creation itself joining in.
And this universe-spanning chorus unites in one massive, final declaration. To him who sits on the throne and to the Lamb be praise and honor and glory and power forever and ever. Notice how the worship is now directed equally at both, the Creator sitting on the throne and the slain Lamb. The crescendo has absolutely hit its universe-shaking peak.
And then the scene shifts so beautifully. After this roaring, deafening crescendo involving the entire universe, the narrative is brought to a sudden, quiet, and deeply reverent close. The four living creatures simply say, "Amen," and the elders fall down and worship.
Which brings us to the end of our analysis today. But before we go, I want to leave you with a question to really ponder. Looking back at the structured flow we've just covered, why does this ancient text use a slain lamb, maybe the ultimate image of frailty and vulnerability, to represent the ultimate power to unseal the universe? It is a mind-bending paradox, right? I highly encourage you to reflect on the literary and symbolic genius of that contrasting imagery and what it suggests about the true nature of power in this text. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep exploring.